The Lee County Sheriff's Office releasing information about an incident involving a deputy who sicked his canine on the wrong man.
The Sheriff's Office is admitting officers made a mistake, but they still blame the victim for using what they call poor judgment. 4 in your corner investigator Mike Mason broke this story and has the latest tonight.
This all began exactly 1 week ago. Officers were searching for a man with a gun. Instead, they found a man sleeping outside of a hotel. When he awoke, he was being tackled by a deputy and viciously bitten by his canine officer. According to the report, the officer doesn't deny sicking his canine on 31-year-old Michael Diaz, who happened to be the wrong man.
They apologized they said it was one of those wrong place, wrong time situations. I just having bad luck.
The report also states Diaz had fallen asleep before he was viciously attacked.
There was no threat posed by Mr. Diaz, and the officers still used the deadly force of the dog. That's improper right then and there.
Diaz since contacted Scott Weinberg, an attorney who also represents another man attacked by a canine officer. Weinberg is alarmed to read how the Lee County Sheriff's Office is justifying the use of force on Diaz. According to the report, Diaz stated he was hiding in the thick brush to make his girlfriend worry about him. Diaz was not involved in the incident we had been actively working, but Diaz used poor judgment when he decided to hide inside an active crime scene. Weinberg tells us Diaz had no idea it was a crime scene, and it's obvious the deputies are trying to lay blame for their mistake on the victim.
They had the wrong person. Before you send the dog after somebody, you better have the right person, especially if that dog's going to do damage to somebody.
According to Diaz, that dog did do plenty of damage. A week later, and his body is still riddled with scratches and bite marks. Weinberg goes on to say officers acted recklessly. Nowhere in the report does it indicate a description of the actual suspect. They failed to compare the appearance of Diaz and the description of the suspect. Diaz, still reeling from his injuries, feels officers jumped the gun on this one.
Yeah, it could have been a dead body there, and why would the first reaction to be release a dog onto this body that's motionless and not responding? I don't think that's proper procedure, and if it is, it probably shouldn't be.
Diaz plans to file a complaint against the officer who handled the canine. He says his injuries were painful but didn't require stitches. In the newsroom, Mike Mason, Fox 4, in your corner.